Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here to talk about what I believe is the most improved phone of 2021. And you may be surprised. I mean, you already saw the thumbnail, so I guess that kind of gave it away. But it's the Z Flip 3. And y'all guys know I love the Z Flip 3. It's a fan favorite. There's a lot of people that have watched my videos and said, you know what, I want to get in on the Z Flip 3 action. Most of them seem to be pretty happy with it. The only downside to this entire phone, really, well, there are a few, but is really the battery life. Other than that, it is so improved from last year, and I even call the battery life an improvement because they added so many more features with the same amount of battery and somehow managed to squeak out the basically exact same, if not slightly more battery life out of it. So we're going to talk about today the Z Flip 3, why it's the most improved, and what the best features are about it, because if you don't have one, you may be on the fence wondering what's so appealing about it, and we're going to talk about it in this video. But before we get into that, I do want to say if this is your first time stopping by the channel, thank you for being here. If you enjoy the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out, because I make videos every single day. Now, let's talk about the Z Flip 3. So today I actually have root beer. Normally I have my ginger ale. Craving something a little bit different, little wild card today. So the wild card, just like the soda, is the Z Flip 3. So this guy right here, we're going to talk about why it's the most improved. The first reason is price. And not just because of price, they chocked this thing full of features. This thing has so many more features, so many refined features from the last go around, and they managed to lower the price. If you're familiar with the Z Flip 5G, then you know last year it was $1,449. If you're not familiar with this, then you may not know what the price is, but the Z Flip 3 MSRP is $999. So not only did they put a whole bunch of different features in here, they upgraded the screen, they gave it water protection, they gave it 120 Hz refresh rate, they gave it stereo speakers, and there's some more stuff. All of that, you would think that the price would stay the same or go higher. No, they went lower. They lowered the price by almost $500, $450. That is uncanny. You don't see that in the smartphone world. How did they do that? Well, one of the reasons is they kept the same cameras, and the cameras have been the same since the first Z Flip 3. Are they good? Sure, they're perfectly good. They're very capable, and I think they're fine. I made a review about it showing off what you can take with the camera. Some people say it's not very good. I maintain that it is pretty good. Is it the most amazing out of the market? No. Is it Pixel, iPhone 13 Pro, or S21 Ultra quality? No, it's not. But for what you get, I think it's very good, and you're going to like it just fine. I don't really see any problems there. So we got a better screen. Better, brighter, more durable, 120 Hz refresh rate. So you get this nice, smooth scrolling effect on here. It's great for gaming. It's great for high action video stuff. It's great for scrolling through your media feed. That's the best thing. Whenever you're using this, and let's say you pull up Twitter and you're scrolling through your feed, it makes everything so nice and smooth. It's really an enjoyable experience. You go over to the gram, you go to TikTok. That's one of the great things about Android phones. Now the iPhone 13 Pro and Pro Max have it. The iPhone 13 doesn't have it, but the high refresh rate screen is nice. See, I was really worried when it came to this phone because when I saw the leaks and the rumors, I'm like, please tell me no. They're not going to put the same 3,300 milliamp battery in here. And lo and behold, they did. So I thought for sure by upgrading from the Snapdragon 865 Plus to the Snapdragon 888, I thought for sure putting a better, brighter screen in here. I thought for sure adding a second speaker, giving it stereo speakers. I thought for sure the 120 Hz refresh rate would kill the battery on this, and this phone is an anomaly. So the Z Flip had 3,300 milliamps in the battery. The Z Flip 5G, same thing, 3,300. And then this guy right here, 3,300 again. They managed to put all those extra features in there and still get the same level of battery, if not more, which is really impressive because the original Z Flip didn't even have 5G. So now we've got 5G in here, which actually works really well. Snapdragon 888, plenty of power. This is a flagship phone, people. The only thing that's missing from this that I have to complain about is there's no DeX, because people really love DeX. I really don't see why they couldn't just include it in here, but they didn't. I hope it's in the Z Flip 4. So yes, it fixed a lot of things people complained about, and a lot of complaints I had. I've been Team Z Flip since basically the beginning. Well, I mean, prior to the beginning. I was very anti-Z Flip when it first came out because I was like, when I saw the leaks and the rumors and the prices, I'm like, there's no way I'm paying $1,380 for this substandard hardware because, it wasn't quite the flagship caliber hardware. It was a little bit less, no 5G, one speaker. There was things I didn't like about it, but then I got my hands on it and I realized it wasn't about the hardware. It's about the performance. And if you want to go that route, then look at the Motorola Razr 5G. I was even so much less enthusiastic about it. I ended up picking one up off of eBay for like $380, $390 or whatever. I fell in love with that phone, and it is inferior to this phone in almost every way, hardware-wise. So, it's not always about the hardware. Once we got to like the Snapdragon 7 series processors, and we got to like last year of phones, mid-tier and up, you're getting a pretty good experience. So, the experience in this phone, it offers something nothing else does. You get to flip it. And on top of that, you also get this bigger exterior screen. So they upgraded the screen. They did a vertical stack with the cameras. They changed things up here a little bit. So now you have this interactive screen on the front, which I wish you could reply to messages on. That's my biggest criticism. They need to make it a little bit bigger, more functional, let you kind of watch videos on the outside of it, some of that stuff. That's what I see. That's what I hope for the Z Flip 4. But they changed basically everything. There was a lot of criticism, especially for me, from the Z Flip to the Z Flip 5G, because they didn't really change anything. They just tossed the Snapdragon 865 Plus in the same body with the same battery, and they gave it 5G. That was about it. So when it came to the Z Flip 3, they redesigned it. Like, the phone itself looks different. It looks very nice. It looks sleek. It looks modern. It looks really classy. There's like 7 different colors that you can get. Sorry, I'm trying to take the case off down here. And the first party accessories are actually really good. Even the third party cases are really, really good for it. So it looks great. It's got a physical fingerprint sensor on the side. So all of this complaining that we've been doing this year, last year, about under the screen fingerprint sensors, this one's my favorite. I love having the side mounted one, but you can see here, it is a chic and classy looking phone. They made the hinge smaller. They gave it water resistance protection. There's no IP68. There's no dust resistance. But there are little bristles on the inside of here, so whenever you do this motion, if there's stuff in there, it kind of pushes it out. That's as good as it's going to get for now. So they added water resistance, better processor, better screen, high refresh rate, extra speaker, bigger screen on the outside, same battery, kept the same battery life. Now, battery life is not exceptional on this. If you're a casual user, it's going to get you through the day. I call it the sun up to sundown battery. That's about what it gets for me. If I use it as I normally would use a phone, can I kill it faster than that if I try? I certainly can. It's not the greatest battery life in the world, but for probably 85% of people, it's going to last all day. For people who use their phone heavily, who are power users, like me, it's not going to last you all day, and then you're going to have to recharge it. So I call it the most improved because they drastically reduced the price, they increased the experience, they increased the performance, and they made it better in almost every single way. Could the cameras be better? Yes, but if they added new cameras, they wouldn't have been able to lower the price. And the big point of this phone, really, was mass adoptability. Samsung is the only one, really, in the United States who's a player. They're the only real global player when it comes to foldable phones, and they have a leg up on everybody. So you see now, I saw an ad today, or this leak, about a new one coming out from Oppo. There's leaks about a possible one coming out from Huawei. They're not going to be the global dominant only one making folding phones in the near future. So they had to capitalize on it. And I feel like they did in a big way. So they lowered the price. They made it where you could basically get one of these if you traded in like a 2005 flip phone, they'd basically give you one of these for free at AT&T or T-Mobile. So even with Samsung, they had some great deals. They had great trade-in specials. They had a free year of insurance, because that's the biggest thing. A lot of people really worry about durability. And the durability on these things, actually, I think is pretty good. I use the Z Flip and the Z Flip 5G extensively. I've used this one quite a bit. I'm glad that I'm going to get to play around with it some more soon. But I have a lot of confidence in it. I don't really worry about it. I think the screen is the best that it's ever been. I think that the built-in screen protector is phenomenal. I think the speakers are solid. I think the cameras are perfectly good. This is the best phone, I think, for making social media videos like the short form video. If you do TikTok, if you do Instagram Reels, if you do YouTube Shorts, this one's great because the phone acts as its own tripod, which is really, really cool. So let me show you something here. You can pop it up like this. And look, you see on the bottom how it has the camera features, and then it just shows directly the lens up top. So what you can do here, set it down, and you can use it to record yourself. What other phone can you do that with? You don't need a tripod. You don't need one of those little selfie sticks and all that stuff. You can use this one on its own and it records 4K video on the front and the back. So I think this is a very attractive phone, not just from a price perspective, but also for performance, also for ergonomics, also for capabilities. The only real downside is the battery, and that it's going to get you through the working day. Is it a great phone for traveling where you need to use it for 24 hours? No, it's not. But in these events, bring a battery bank. You can charge it. There are ways you can mitigate the battery. You can strategically charge it. You can make sure that you have a charging bank with you. You can charge it when you're in the car. You can charge it when you're at your desk. Charging technology is more widely available than it's ever been. So the charging point, yes, I get it. If you're out in the middle of the desert and you can't recharge it, it's problematic. But you can use battery saving mode. You can use Bixby routines. If you don't know what those are, I made a whole video about it and how to get better battery life. You can set up Bixby routines. When you get under 50%, you can cut off the 120 hertz refresh rate. When you get down below a certain amount, you can turn down the brightness. There are so many things you can customize with this. If you just play around with it, you can have it where when you're at home, it has the NFC connection turned off, so you're not wasting battery on that. So there are ways you can really make it work for you without even impacting the performance. But I love this phone. I know a lot of people that love it. It's a very attractive phone, price, performance, capabilities, ergonomics, and then it's so great just to be able to hang up the phone by closing the screen when you get done. And it's a very good completionist phone. I mention this a lot, but if you're like me, every time you're using a phone, here's what you do when you get done. You always have to go and press the button and turn the screen off. I can't sit there. It bothers me if my screen is on and I'm not using my phone. So this one, close it and forget about it. And then when it's sitting there, you don't have to worry about an always on display. I mean, you do on the outside, but it's not burning up a lot of screen power. You don't have to worry about the screen accidentally popping on and burning up battery. You don't have to worry about anything. In fact, you can be playing something on YouTube and listen to it, close it, and it'll still play so you can listen to it like, just the audio, which a lot of people like to do anyway, and you're not burning up the screen. So there's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of performance functions you can do with this. You can mitigate battery. You can really enjoy it. And it's a great conversation piece. People see this and they're like, wow, that's a really sharp looking phone. That's a really nice looking display. That's really cool how the outside has a functional screen. And it's just really refreshing. It's something that people kind of in my age who grew up using flip phones really gravitate towards. It's not so much one of those ones for teenagers. Some of them like it, some of them don't, I think. But this is from an era where we grew up using flip phones and then we had to move to the slab phones. Now you can get the best of both worlds. And I think this is the most improved phone of the year. They improve so much. I mean, heck, how often do you hear, this is like a Cinderella story when it comes to phones. Where do you find a phone that decreases in 40% the price year over year and gives you like 50% more of everything? The last two only had one speaker. This one has two speakers. The last ones had 60 hertz refresh rate screens. This one has 120. The last ones didn't have waterproof protection, water resistance. This one has IPX8. 120 hertz refresh rate. I mean, Snapdragon 888. There's tons of power in here. Like, you can do anything with this phone. It's on par performance-wise with the S21 Ultra. So I think they did a great job. I think it's really appealing. I think a lot of people are really gravitating towards it. And the only real hard complaint is the battery, that's very subjective. For some people, not even a problem. And then the cameras, I expect those to get upgraded this next year. Next year, I kind of think that we're going to have two models. I think they'll have like a fan edition that doesn't have some of the more pro feature stuff in it and probably is more just like a refined version of this that's cheaper. And I think we'll have a more pro model or some sort of more flagship-esque model that might have a bigger battery, might have 3 cameras, something like that. I expect changes next year. I think that now they've got this in people's pockets, people want to see a little bit more out of it. But they've really done some amazing stuff. When you look at creativity, when you look at originality, everybody complains how the phones are the same year over year, and this one broke the mold in that department. It's definitely different, but it gives you all the performance you would otherwise get in another phone that you would pay even more money for in most cases. So I love this phone. It's one of my favorites of this year. It's definitely the most improved over the last couple of years, and this is one fantastic phone I really like a lot. So I wanted to share that with you guys, had some thoughts about it. I thought it would make a great video, and I think we're going to wrap it up. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.